Hey everyone, welcome back to Nerddom. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be talking about the huge week that Marvel had. Yes, of course, we're talking about Madam Web releasing to theaters.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
It's not doing well. It's bad. Oh, well, Marvel needs to cover for them, right?
I got you, homie!
So yes, Madam Web is in theaters now. Not doing well with the reviews, and I don't think it's doing very well with the box office. And these are reviews from critics and normies. The normies who are seeing the movie. But the big news this week, I thought it was just going to be the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. But then throughout the week, we keep getting little more tidbits of what is going to be arriving in the next year. And one of the announcements just happened to be the same day that Madam Web was in theaters? Coincidence? I don't know. So we're going to go in chronological order on what happened this week, talk a little bit about it, and this may be a longer video than I was expecting originally, so buckle in. Okay, so the first thing that happened was actually last Sunday. During the Super Bowl, we got a little teaser for the new Deadpool 3 movie, which is entitled Deadpool and Wolverine, or Wolverine and Asshole. I really do like the play between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. It's been a big joke for a long time with the Deadpool series, ever since probably X-Men Origins and what they did to Deadpool there. But if you've seen Deadpool 1 and 2, he does joke about Wolverine and Hugh and everything else. So it is going to be finally a huge payoff for those movies. It only took them 10 years. I'm just kidding. It's been 8 years. That's crazy to think about. 8 years. I got a little too much gray hair in this beard. But in this trailer, there are a lot of tidbits about the story, about who's going to be in it, and about what's going to happen to the MCU afterwards. So in it, we have the TVA, which you know from Loki. Now, big questions about the TVA in this one. Are they the same TVA? Is it a different dimensional TVA, or is it post Loki season 2 and there is still a TVA? It's just under his command, under his rule, he created it, kind of thing, since he is now supposedly the god of stories. I still haven't looked up what that is in the comics, but if he is in Idrisil, if he is overseeing a bunch of this stuff, then he is definitely seeing these other universes, and one of which was the Fox universe. And if you didn't know, Fox was bought out and absorbed by Disney, what, last year? Nope, 2019. This time is moving way too fast. So all of the Fox properties that Marvel sold off in the 90s to have the Fox X-Men universe and the Fox Fantastic Four universe are now back underneath Marvel, which is underneath Disney. So there you go. And to say something good about these TVA agents, they actually do look threatening. I made a post online saying, yes, they look threatening. I don't know if it's because of the gas masks or their armor, the way they're postured. It's just something a little bit different than the Loki TVA. They look more meh, more for TV. Hopefully there's a joke about the budget. I don't know. It's a little bit bigger. Actually, I don't know. Loki had a pretty huge budget looking back. I don't know about season 2. But in any case, they get Deadpool, they bring him back to the TVA, and they explain to him that he's special and that he needs to save their multiverse. Those TV screens show us the MCU. So is Deadpool going to be traveling throughout our MCU sacred timeline that we all know? And we may be getting into spoiler territory, but it is on the trailer. But a lot of the stuff is online in the ecosystem of guessing, of not rumors, I guess, or anything like that. I'm not going to really say anything about, you know, people have said that this person was on set, that person was on set. I'm sure they were, but I'm just going to go off of the trailer and what we got here. You see Deadpool taking out TVA agents in brutal fashion, not beating them up like in Loki. He's killing them in this snowy, forested area. Now, while the color grading is a little bit different and you can have a snowy forest anywhere, I do have a feeling that this movie is going to be weaving in and out through the MCU timeline. So this may be just one part where he is messing with the sacred timeline per se, and maybe he's off on a different area, but this looks like the forest from Age of Ultron. It does look like the forest that the Avengers were taking out Strucker in Age of Ultron. And it's possible that Deadpool is trying to either contact them, get in their way, do something else. Maybe there's a joke about Phase 4, who knows. You must stop this or else Phase 4 will happen. It's so stupid. It's stupid enough that it could happen. So you see Deadpool taking out these TVA agents in brutal fashion in this forest. And then you also see a couple more tidbits. There's one shot with him in a room with what looks to be the same bed as Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. What does this mean? No idea. You also, of course, see a version of Wolverine known as Patch. Now, does this look like Hugh to you? Or is this possibly somebody else? Personally, I mean, it could be the camera lens, you know, it's a wider, it's like a fisheye kind of lens, so maybe it's a little bit more wide angled. But his shoulders look a little slim to be Hugh Jackman, in my opinion. It could be someone else playing him. And with that, there could be a bunch of actors playing different versions of Wolverine on screen at the same time, which would be kind of funny to see. Like, you expect to see Hugh Jackman because of all the hype, marketing, and people taking pictures behind the scenes. But what if Hugh Jackman's only one part of the movie and Deadpool's hanging out with a different Wolverine for that other part? You know, rumors have been speculating of like Daniel Radcliffe and possibly others. You know, who knows? Everyone's throwing around a bunch of names right now, but seeing Daniel Radcliffe makes kind of sense because he's a little bit more slimmer. I don't know how yoked he can get, honestly. But seeing him play Patch would be kind of funny. We also see a Uzi wielding Deadpool, but we only see their hands. Now, is this the Deadpool that we know? Are there going to be different versions of Deadpool in here too, from different universes? Is this Lady Deadpool or something? I don't know. I haven't really read a lot of Deadpool comics, so you gotta forgive my ignorance on that one too. If there's any Deadpool comics that I absolutely should read, please let me know down in the comments below. Seeing the MCU, he's saluting Captain America. He is witnessing this huge bunch of events, and he makes a joke about saving your cinematic universe or something. It looks like at one point he is in the void where you get pruned, and I think we see a TVA agent who is tied up, and then Eliath actually takes him out. Now, is this just another shot for the trailer? We've seen Marvel do a bunch of these trick shots to kind of just use in the trailer and not have it in the actual movie. This movie is 5 months away from being released, which is insane. They just finished shooting maybe a couple weeks ago. And of course, we did have the writers and actors strike while production was going on. But if they were planning ahead, they could have the scenes and the sequences that they needed to have just the CG artists and editors working while they were on strike. And then maybe just the part in the void in the desert with all the Fox universe people there. That is what they were kind of waiting to shoot until the very end. Who knows? Show business and movie magic. What else do we see in the trailer? We see, while he's laying on the ground in the final shot, which is actually a pretty cool shot, and you see the silhouette, the shadow of Wolverine. Which Wolverine? It looks like to be the yellow and blue Wolverine that we've seen behind the scenes pictures, but it doesn't look like he knows Deadpool, and it doesn't look like Deadpool wants anything to do with him, because there's a funny joke about him being helped up. So that leads me to believe that he's already been hanging out with a Wolverine. Maybe this Wolverine's dead. Maybe this one killed him, you know, split him apart, whatever. And then he's like, hey, help me up, that was a good fight. Oh no, never mind, not you, not you, not you. You know, something like that. But in the corner on the left-hand side, we do see a comic book and a soda bottle. One of which, the comic book, looks to be the newer version of Secret Wars with Dr. Doom on the cover. It could just be a tidbit. I'm sure they shot it with multiple comic books, or that scene split, and they can switch out comic books just like in a Photoshop layer or whatever. It could just be, oh, getting fans excited. And then we also see the green soda bottle, which is the same bottle that the Incredible Hulk was working at in the very first Incredible Hulk movie, one of which Stan Lee actually drinks a irradiated blood bottle and ends up dropping it. Is he another person we could see in the movie? Who knows? It'd be funny if we have like a Abomination version Stan Lee. Oh my god. Anything's possible now, I guess, with these people. But again, what does that mean? Does it mean anything at all? Or is it just Marvel putting things in to get the people excited because the excitement for this universe is dead low? And we have seen Bob Iger say that they are going to reconcentrate on more popular heroes versus what they've been doing in the past couple years. It's going to be funny to see what the studio does in the future, because another Bob Iger quote said that with the Marvels, there wasn't enough studio interference. No, there wasn't enough studio supervision. And if there's one thing creatives know and love, it is studio supervision. We can see how well studio supervision went with the recent Sony movies. And I mean, who knows, like the studio hired the people that put Phase 4 on. They knew what was going on. Did they all just take a vacation? Has Kevin Feige just been on siesta for the last 5 years? He's like, yeah, whatever. I do think that I wonder if he does have lieutenants. In business, you're supposed to have kind of people that are there to not really do your work, but are like little copies of you. That way your work can move on and then you can work on new business. So this dude is the head of Marvel, right? He's the head of Marvel. So that means that he has to have lieutenants beneath him to kind of carry out the business as he would like it, because he's the boss. And I do believe in business and in, work hierarchy. The buck stops here. The buck stops with the manager, with the boss. And if he failed to do his job, which is to train lieutenants, and for him to have the confidence in these lieutenants to carry out the job that needed to be done, if they failed, then how many more chances are you going to give somebody? Are there now performance improvement plans on these people? Because these are hundreds of millions of dollars that the company is just bleeding through on these choices. It's just been really crazy to see in the last couple years. Now, some say that this is actually par for the course. Now that the characters that you loved and you've grown up with are gone, and that these characters haven't been built, or maybe the actors you don't like, that facade is now gone. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I get where that is coming from. And I do try to check myself. Is it just the nostalgia of these older movies that keeps me coming back for it? I'm not sure. Is it just the nostalgia of the older movies that kept me involved? But I don't know. I mean, you fall in love with a story, with a series, with a book series, a comic series, something like that, and you follow through. And I kind of do feel like the MCU probably should have ended at Endgame. That's 10 years. That's crazy to think about, that this universe was made in 10 years. It probably should have ended. Prove me wrong, Marvel. Prove me wrong. In any case, is Deadpool just going to be one of those ammonia things that just wakes up the universe for a little bit and then all of a sudden you fall back asleep? We will see. I do believe it is the shot in the arm that the universe needs. It is new blood. It is new takes. The way the stories are told is stale. Everybody knows that the Marvel way of making a movie, the Marvel humor and all that stuff, it is just so stale and so overdone. Not every movie needs to be Tony Stark, Avengers quippy Joss Whedon, or Guardians of the Galaxy written by James Gunn. Not every movie needs to be that. Not every movie needs to be a flat line when it comes to excitement, drama. A story has ebbs and flows. It just feels like these stories are just, right now, they don't mean anything. And not even mean anything to the larger universe. They don't mean anything to their own story. I could go on and on about some of the last movies that I watched or the shows that I watched, and it just seems like nothing burgers from it. There's no drama. Even Bambi and Lion King had drama, so don't give me that about a kid's property not needing drama. In any case, I am excited. I am curious, and I just remembered that this movie is dropping the same week as San Diego Comic-Con. So this movie drops the Thursday before the Saturday in which Marvel usually has a big showing at Comic-Con. That's pretty cool. I will be in San Diego this year for the convention. So it looks like I'm going to be doing something on Thursday night, and as soon as tickets get released, I will be looking at movie theaters near the convention to see this movie. That way we can all talk about it the next day at the convention. It's going to be a busy one, that's for sure. I'm super excited for that. Man, and that was just the Wolverine and Deadpool movie. I'm sorry, the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So that was Sunday, and the views on this video seem to have blown up. Rumor has it, or it's reported, that it got more views than the Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I did see another person saying that Disney combined someplace the views of the Super Bowl with the views online to make that 200, but the interest for this character and the interest for new takes, new jokes, new violence in the comic book genre, I think it's there, and it's about time we stop playing it safe with Marvel. As you saw with my review for Werewolf by Night, I dug it. I liked the new sense into this universe. And a rumor has it, another rumor, I mean, I kind of want to believe this rumor because I did like the dude who made Werewolf by Night, Michael Giacchino, I do believe. He's a music dude, but he's pretty good, man. There is a new rumor going around about him directing a Midnight Suns movie, and I love the lineup in that, but I would love to see them build up to it. We have Doctor Strange, but we need some more build up before we see something like that. Building a whole team and getting all those characters on the screen, it's not the way to go. In my opinion, you need to take time. You need to either put this stuff on ice, or you need to take your time making sure it's right and making sure that the characters are fleshed out so we actually care about them before you make a super team. But I do like what Michael Giacchino did, and if he is just putting out these rumors himself to kind of vie for that role, it wouldn't be the first time. That's the whole reason why we have Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. At least he came in with the pitch with the video, and then he released the video online, right? Once it didn't get accepted, so that's where that whole sequence came from. Show business magic. The next story, I can't believe how long we've talked about that. The next story was dropped on Wednesday, Valentine's Day, which is the same day, like I said, that Madam Web was released. And this is, of course, the Fantastic Four casting, which finally we have the final casting for who is the first family of Marvel. And it is, of course, Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things Season 4 as Johnny Storm, and Eben Moss Bachrach as the Thing, Ben Grimm. Now, I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan. I actually don't know a lot about them past their normal powers and how, you know, Reed Richards is super duper duper smart, and he's also the maker in the Ultimate Universe. I haven't really read any Fantastic Four books. I do know of Doom. I haven't really read any Doom books. Again, let me know down in the comments of your favorite Doom books for me to pick up and read. God, I have a lot to read. It has the 1960s style, and it does also have the 1963 cover for Life magazine. Is this movie going to be taking place in 1963? I'm not sure. It's going to be taking place in the 60s, and then they come into the mainline MCU. Again, where does this fall? And we'll find out next year when it's released. I think they're going to start filming over the summer, which makes sense again because then they can have them on stage at San Diego Comic-Con for a big reveal with them all together. Photo ops and marketing, maybe a little teaser, maybe a little behind the scenes teaser, maybe showing some storyboards or something like that. I don't know if Marvel's ever done anything like that, but it would be kind of cool to see that. But that way, when they start filming in the summer, they're going to have them under contract to do this as well. Who doesn't want to spend a fun weekend in San Diego, right? But is this exciting? Is this just a way to get Doom into the story? This is Marvel's first family, and they're supposed to be a big deal, and they are a big deal. They're a big deal in the universe. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Do I like the casting? You know, we've been shocked by people in the past, and I don't want to say anything before seeing a frame of film. We'll see. I kind of like Johnny Storm as a more heartthrob of a person, because he's kind of like a celebrity whenever I've seen him. Not even in the Fantastic Four movies, which I haven't seen in probably like 15 years. But when I've seen him depicted in the comic books, he is kind of like that too. Maybe they can, I mean, he doesn't look bad. Joseph Quinn doesn't look bad. He could be a heartthrob, I guess. Just not my type. So yeah, that happened on Wednesday. Like I said, was this to cover for Madam Web's bad press? Was it to take that out? And then Marvel is saying, hey, Sony, we got you. I mean, who knows? These are all corporations who are vying for your attention, vying for your dollar. And if Marvel can one-up Sony on their day that their movie comes out and be like, hey, look what we are doing over here. Don't you want some of your characters over here? Pay us. Let us have it. If you don't think that's not happening behind the scenes, I think you're living in La La Land. So yeah, that happened Wednesday. And then, it looks like, I believe on Thursday, we had the X-Men 97 animated series trailer drop. I'm stoked. I'm a huge fan of the original series, and I've seen some stories from the showrunner saying how he was a big fan of the original series. He doesn't want to change that kind of thing. I mean, everybody's saying everything online. Who's to believe what? I am a wait and see kind of person with this. I'm trying to temper my excitement, and I do need to rewatch the entire X-Men animated series to kind of catch up on it all. I kind of slowly been going through it. It's pretty simple to watch it all, but I'm kind of stoked. You know, the 90s X-Men is kind of the aesthetic that I really dig. For some reason, I like the really terrible feet, big bulky legs, big bulky shoulders, and the crazy designs there. It's probably nostalgia. I did meet Wolverine and Spider-Man in a comic book store in 1994. Just be jealous. I know you're jealous. And I actually do have some of the old comics from those days when Marvel was looking to get kids into comics. They did a Toys R Us and a Pizza Hut X-Men line at those places, and I still have those to this day. Don't think they're worth any money, but they're worth a lot to me because I didn't get a lot of comic books. All the comic books that I read when I was a kid belonged to my public library, except for these, which I reread over and over. So the 90s X-Men mean a lot to me, and it is definitely one of my treasure hunting goals that I want to get into, is hunting for those vintage 80s, 90s X-Men comics. You know, Cable. having those characters in there, and also one day having the X-Men arcade machine. The brown and gold Wolverine is my favorite over the blue and yellow, and seeing that from the 80s and early 90s is just would be so cool. But yeah, I'm not much to really say about the X-Men. I kind of made a joke about Morph looking like the Greendale human being from Community. I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, it makes sense that he's like doesn't know who he is. He has like no identity, so he just becomes a blank slate. I mean, he looks like Clayman almost. It's kind of funny, or like a gray alien, gray matter alien or something. But where does the story lead off? It looks like Xavier, and I need to rewatch the damn series. I don't remember Xavier dying, but it looks like he did die. And it looks like Magneto now owns everything that Xavier had. So the school, the X-Men, everything's underneath Magneto. And I do know in the books that Magneto kind of rides the line between good and bad. And they've had some really intense fights in the cartoons. So where's this going to lead? I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun little nostalgic trip. I am curious to see what type of stories they'll be telling in this, and if they're going to be adapting any of the comics from the 90s into this. Or are they just going to make references to some of the old comic shots? I'm not sure. But in any case, so that was the 3 announcements this week, 2 of which are X-Men or Fox related. Deadpool Wolverine, and then X-Men 97. And then of course the Fantastic Four casting with that drawn image. Kind of looks like concept art. Maybe nothing's actually been created yet. Who knows? But they have casting done, so that means that there's a script somewhere. So a big week from Marvel. Good way to distract you from watching Madam Web, unless you really want to watch that. I'll be waiting 3.2 weeks until it's on Netflix. Then maybe I'll do a review. In any case, let me know down in the comments what you thought of this week in Marvel news. If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. Also, hit that thumbs up button. It really does help us out here at the channel. Feel free to share with your Marvel communities. And yeah, let me know what you think about all this stuff going on. And also feel free to tune in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for the pull list, where we go over this week's new comics, stuff that I bought, stuff that I read, and some funny knickknacks around the room. It's actually a pretty good time, and I'm having a blast doing it every Wednesday. And if you didn't like the video, I thank you for watching this long. Hope to see you in the next one.